Hello, my friends. Welcome to the program to Know Spiritism number 129. I'm Geraldo Lemos Neto, and I'm here with Marco Gandra from Portal Saber Espiritismo in Belo Horizonte, Brazil. We are transmitting live for Kardec Radio, for Spiritism Dissemination, and DSN, Discover Spiritism Network. Tonight, we're going to continue studying the second part of the program with the title The Spiritist View of Prophecies and Mediumship. The subject tonight will be the last chapter of the last book by Allan Kardec, The Genesis, the Miracles, and the Predictions According to Spiritism. We can see at his last chapter, the chapter 18th, the signs of the times. The times have come, and where Allan Kardec introduced us to one of the most important messages. As a matter of fact, it was introduced after the death of Allan Kardec, after the fifth edition, but Allan Kardec had already seen it and published it in the Spiritist Review. The message was from the French Prime Minister François Arago that lived in the first half of the 19th century. He was a scientist, an astronomer, and also a politician, very important one, because he served as the Prime Minister of France. The spirit communication of Arago, or in French, Arago, is the item number 8 of this chapter 18th, Signs of the Times. And let's see what he tells us. He wrote, within a particular planetary system, all the bodies comprising it react upon one another. All physical influences are in solidarity, and there is not one of the effects that you designate as great disturbances that is not a consequence of the combination of influences within the entire system. And this is very interesting because he, of course, is talking about the gravitational influence that each cosmic body in a planetary system have upon each other, beginning with the star, in our case, the sun, and all the planets and all the moons, the comets, the meteorites, and everything. And he is teaching us also that everything works together, that there is a combination of influences within the entire solar system and within each entire star system. And then he talks about the human societies and the nations and the cultures, and wrote, the turmoil that sometimes manifests within an entire population among the people of the same race is not a fortuitous event, nor is it the result of a capricious act. Its cause lies in the laws of nature. So he is teaching us that even the human societies, the nations, the races or ethnic groups, and also uh, every gathering of some kind of people together because of ideological backgrounds or because of religious backgrounds and also because of social backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, or even philosophical way of living, all the gathering that one time or another gather everyone in a movement of turmoil that manifests sometimes within an entire population among the people of some uh, race or some ethics. This is not a fortuitous event. It works like a process, and its cause lies in the laws of nature itself. And then he explains us a little more about it. Unconscious at first, this turmoil, which is nothing more than a vague desire, an indefinable yearning for something better, a need for change, is expressed through silent agitation and then through actions that prepare social revolutions, which, believe it or not, also have their own lifespan, similar to physical revolutions, because everything is connected. So we get the feelings throughout this explanation that even the social movements, the revolutions, the turmoils that once in a while affects some nation, some group of people, uh, it begins first unconsciously, and then the, it is expressed by a vague desire. No one is clear about what is the object of this turmoil. Maybe a little thing, and then the, the people start to ask for something better. They understand they have to change, but they don't uh, know why or what, and then they express themselves through a silent agitation, and then comes the action that prepare uh, social revolutions. And the spirit of Arago is teaching us that similarly to the all physical revolutions of Earth, like earthquakes, like volcanoes, like tsunamis, like the acts of nature, they have its own lifespan, and also the social movements, the political movements in on with, within the terrestrial nations also have it, because everything is connected, as he is telling us. And then uh, he concluded teaching us that when you hear that humankind has arrived at the period of transformation and that the earth must ascend within the world hierarchy, do not see anything mystical in these words, but to the contrary, the fulfillment of one of the great unavoidable laws of the universe, against which all human will shall break. So it is not a fantasy that humankind, from time to time, need and experience a period of transformation. And those periods of transformation are what we call the transitional times. And it only happens when Earth as a whole, the planet as a whole, must ascend in the planetary hierarchy. And that's exactly what we are living nowadays here on Earth. Since the middle of the 18th century, throughout all 19th and 20th century, and until the middle of this 21st century, we are experiencing 300 years of turmoil, 300 years of transitional time, 3 centuries that are changing all human bases of its societies, so that we will be able to initiate another time in our evolution as a collective society in the middle of the 21st century, and that is the times of regeneration that are approaching. So this is not a a mystical or a thing of fantasy. No, it is not mystical. We cannot interpret those words as mystical, but to the contrary, the spirit of Arago tells us that this is the fulfillment of one of the great unavoidable laws of the whole universe. That is the law of evolution. And even the bad wills of humans cannot break it. So the ones that will go with the whole planet to the time of regeneration, the ones that have peace in their minds and souls, that are tranquil souls, that have faith, that seek spirituality, they will experience this transformation. But those that don't want to uh, leave their materialistic way of living, they will not come with the earth. They will not reincarnate here again. And most probably, they will experience an expulsion. And that's exactly the times that we are nowadays living on. Thank you for listening. The next week, the program 130, we are going to talk about another message that was considered by Allan Kardec of great importance, the message of Dr. Barry. See you next time. Bye-bye.